Okay, so here's our final lesson before we go into the nitty gritty of how to make money as a Christian creative. I just want to lay a foundation as to the purpose of money. I find that a lot of people don't plan for money. So when the money hits, it's almost like an overnight success and they lose their minds and they really lose the core and the sense of who they really are because they never prepared for wealth and they never prepared for success. So, what does money really mean to you? It's a question you need to ask. There are certain things you should write down even before you make a lot of money. So, for example, I tell people have a list of the things you will never do for money, and also have a list of the things you will do with money. So, for example, on my list, I have certain social projects that I've promised myself that as long as I make money, there are certain things that will be extremely important to me, and there are certain projects I will always dedicate a percentage of my income to. In the same vein, I also have another list of things I would never do, as long as I have money. It could be little things, it could be something as silly as when you go for speaking engagements, you're not going to be one of those people where people have to carry your bag, when you're going to speak. You may just decide, I want to be independent. I don't want to be fawned over. I don't want sycophants around me. Those are some of the things you can write down now so that as you begin to make money, you don't lose your focus. You can always refer to your list, always refer to the things that are important to you, and ask yourself a critical question. Is money taking me away from the things that matter, or is it helping me to achieve the things that matter? So as Christians, we have a mandate to love the world, and love always gives. So when you make money, your prosperity is supposed to help those in need. So beyond meeting your own personal expenses, once you have a roof over your head, you have clothes, you have food, you can send your kids to good schools, what do you do with your money? You're supposed to help people in need. You spread the good news with your money. You promote righteousness, doing things right systems, right structures, and right processes in society. That really is the purpose of money. God expects you to do the following. You can use your gifts to edify the body of Christ, whether it's in helping to spread the gospel or helping to grow, the ministries of the church in the different societies or communities where you live. It could be to contribute directly to good work. So instead of outsourcing your charity to church alone, you could decide to also impact the society yourself. You could start a foundation, you could start a project, you could sponsor a charity or something, so you can contribute to society directly through your wealth. You can also decide to have an agreement with God that you will execute the projects that are dear to his heart, which he will reveal to you from time to time. So you could ask God directly, what's important? What am I supposed to focus on now? What should I deploy this income to? And you may develop your own personal covenant with God on how you will use the resources that he gives you. But be careful. Don't make a promise to God that you cannot keep. So a lot of people, make promises and say, God, if you bless me, I'm going to give half of my income, out. And then when the money comes, they completely forget that promise. So don't be quick to make a promise to God. But one of the things about writing some of these things down is that you can look back at how far God took you. So when you didn't have money, when you weren't successful, this is how far God has taken you. And then you remember some of those things, some of those projects, and some of those plans that you had in mind for when you have wealth. So this is my advice to you. At the very least, have two lists: things you will do with money and things you will never do for money. Thank you.